Thank you, Leora and Jay. Whew, I do feel welcome. And my name is Alexandra Gale. I'm a licensed Unity teacher, and some of you know me because I've been around for a while, and if I haven't had a chance to meet people, hopefully before the end of the day today, I will have a chance to connect. So I'm welcoming you to Unity of New Westminster. We are so glad for all those present here and anyone online that's joining us. So thank you for being with us and part of this divine appointment. If you are new, welcome, a special welcome. You will find information about Unity in your welcome packet, and we hope that you enjoy your service today. And if you'd like to be added to the weekly email list, please place your information in the offering later. There will be a chance for you to fill out a piece of paper and put that information so you can stay connected, especially with the new season coming up. There's all sorts of amazing events planned, and it'll be a great chance to connect and get to know people. So hopefully you'll be able to do that. The Unity movement offers ideas for full and abundant living. We draw on the teachings of Jesus, who we consider our primary way shower and our example. And we honor that there is universal wisdom in faith traditions all over the world. We respect every person's right to choose their own life path, own spiritual path, and we declare all are welcome, all are worthy, and all are celebrated here. So let's take a moment now to begin with affirmative prayer. And first, let's begin by acknowledging with gratitude that we are on the traditional and ancestral territory of the Kakite First Nation. And we give thanks for First Nation peoples everywhere for their custody of this beautiful land on which we live, we work, and we play. We are grateful to be together today in our community, a community of joy, to sing together, to laugh together, to be inspired by ideas for wholehearted living, and to connect and love one another. Many names and many paths lead to the one power and presence that we call God. That power is the creating and acting and unifying force of love energy which surrounds us, which lies within us, which expresses as us and through us, in which we live and move and have our being. In this energy and as this energy, we are all one, and from this oneness, we send a blessing of unconditional love, peace, and abundant joy to all beings everywhere. We are so grateful, and so it is. Amen. And I invite Sharon now to come up and share the daily word.
For those of you who have the daily word, you'll find that this is actually Monday's daily word. But if it's sorry. Hi, I'm Sharon. Anyway, for those of you who have the daily word, you'll see this is Monday's daily word. It fits in with Alexandra's topic. So today's theme is going to be Let Go, Let God. Let go, let God is like surrendering my desires to the infinite mind of God. I let go. It's natural to have desires, goals to achieve, dreams to realize, and even items to acquire. These desires mean I am looking for ways to improve myself and grow into the fullest expression of the person I envision myself to be. But it is possible to be inflexible about what these desires must look like and how they will manifest. If I catch myself thinking specific things will happen in a certain way, I recognize it is a cue for me to let go and let God. Unlike my human mind, the mind of God is infinite, and the possibilities that can spring from the divine ideas are endless. When I let go and let God, I am welcoming my highest and best outcomes, even if they do not look like what I had envisioned. 22, verse 22. Not my will, but yours be done. And now for our jazzy duo, Laura and Jay. Yay, yay.
So I invite you to sing with us. Make me a channel of your peace. Where there is hatred, let me bring your love. Where there is injury, your healing power. And where there's doubt, true faith in you. Make me a channel of your peace. Where there's despair in life, let me bring hope. And where there's darkness, only precious light. And where there's sadness, ever joy. Your Spirit grant that I
it's possible, rest your feet on the floor so you can feel grounded. Remove anything from your hands, anything that's not necessary, and just let them rest gently in your lap. Again, whatever is comfortable for you. Feel the chair or whatever seat you may be on supporting you as you just relax into it. And if you haven't already done so, I invite you to close your eyes, knowing that this is a safe and sacred space. Notice and invite your body to relax, releasing any tension where it may appear. Notice any area of your body that is demanding attention, sending it a loving, gentle message, surrounding it in the light of healing. If there are any thoughts demanding your attention, notice them, and then just let them drift out of your consciousness. Let them drift out of your awareness. For you can relax knowing that anything that's important or necessary will be available to you at the right and perfect time. And I invite you now to turn your attention to your breath. Breathing in and breathing out in a relaxing, natural rhythm, whatever is right for you. Feel the natural flow of your breath. Notice where you feel it in your body. While inhaling, I invite you to gently expand your belly, feeling the breath rise up into your rib cage. When breathing out, completely empty your lungs so that you are ready to receive the next life-giving breath. With every breath in, we know we are taking in life-giving oxygen. With every breath out, we know we are releasing carbon dioxide. We take a moment to focus on this flow of breathing, releasing what we no longer need and receiving what is life-giving and nourishing. Inhaling and exhaling, receiving and releasing, releasing and receiving. In this moment, I invite you to let my words be your words. As you breathe in, saying, I breathe in peace and calm. As you breathe out, saying, I breathe out stress and tension. I breathe in peace and calm. I breathe out stress and tension. Taking a moment to feel the truth of these words. Breathing in and out. Inhaling and exhaling. In this moment, I become aware of the one power and presence of which I am an expression. In this moment, I become aware of the one power and presence of which I am an expression. Centered in this awareness within, I let go of anything holding me back from being a greater expression of my higher self. I open to new insights of how to more fully express my divine nature. I now more fully open to oneness. From this state of oneness, I now rest in the silence for a moment. Breathing in and breathing out. I become aware once more of the flow of divine life. Once more, focusing your attention on your breath. I invite you now to gently turn your awareness and attention to this time and space. And as you fully embrace the breathing of God as you, allow this natural rhythm to remind you that there is a constant flow of releasing and receiving in life. And I invite you to affirm, I am one with the flow of life. I let go, and I am ready to receive. And so it is. Amen. And whenever you're ready, I invite you to return your full attention to the presence here. If you haven't already done so, you can open your eyes. And one more deep cleansing breath and releasing and letting go. And now we'll have music from Leora and Jay.
And there
How's my mic? Oh, I'm back on. Yay, Bodhi tree. Wow. So, we are going to be doing some releasing today, hopefully. And I'm going to set this up just to say that I'm going to share some of my personal experiences because, as I might have said before when I've been doing talks here, I do my best to practice what I preach. So if I'm saying something to you, it's because I've pretty much gone through it all. Sometimes with more success than others, but I think the key is to keep on keeping on. And what I'll be doing is I'll be running my own slideshow today, so crossing fingers the tech gods are with us. All right. So the power of release. Let go and grow. Feel the freedom. And I'm going to be sharing what is known in Unity as the power of renunciation, big word, elimination, or release. And there's a movement now to move from the language of the 1800s when Charles and Myrtle Fillmore, co-founders of Unity, were inspired and came up with these ideas. And the language has changed. So we are now using words that maybe are a little bit more user-friendly, I guess I would have to say. So the power of release. Now, there may be things in the outer in your lives that need to be released. I can share with you, I've been doing some releasing the last week, cleaning the garage, finding out what stuff I need to keep, going through Christmas decorations before we actually get ready for Christmas, and just going through closets, everything. And while that is a very valuable process, what I'm going to be asking you to do today is to turn away from the outer and let's look at what's happening within us and anything that might be in our consciousness or subconscious minds that might be time to release. Now, this is a picture I'm showing because it reminds me of something that happened in my childhood. Growing up, I lived in a rural area of southwestern Ontario. And the summer I was 12, I finally, and I mean finally, learned to swim in the local creek. And it was a neighborhood rite of passage for the children in the area to jump off the bridge over the creek. And anybody else do crazy stuff like that when you're kids? Yeah. So the day came, I reluctantly climbed up to the support under the bridge from where I was prepared to launch myself into the water. And I was cheered on by a friend. She was standing there next to me. "You can do it," she said, "just let go and jump." And in that moment, I believed I could. And I let go and began to jump. At the last moment, I experienced doubt and fear, and I reached back, trying to grab on to the railing, and missed. Can you imagine where this is going? I end up falling backwards off the bridge, landing in the creek, on my back, in the water. Ow, it hurt. And what did I learn from that? Trying to look back and hang on to something could be painful. Sometimes it's better to just let go. And many of you know the book, The 12 Powers of Man by Charles Fillmore, again, co-founder. Some of you have taken classes involving that book. It was published in 1930, and Charles was born in 1854, as I mentioned, the 1800s. So again, take into consideration when you're looking at these materials, reading these books, that the language is not of today. And perhaps we can think of this particular title instead of the 12 Powers of Man, the 12 Powers of Humanity, Humankind instead. So I'm just giving you the updated, politically correct version of the language we're using in Unity now. In his book, Charles writes about 12 divine ideas, and some of you have heard this before. Some of you have heard me speak on this. Some of you have heard Reverend Rona, Reverend Roy, all the ministers that have gone before speak about these 12 powers. They are fundamental to Unity teachings, by the way. And what these ideas are they reflect God's nature, and which comprise our own divine spiritual nature. So we have these 12 powers within us. They are components of the image and likeness of God in humankind. These innate spiritual powers are known as our faculties or abilities, again, new words, and are being used by us either consciously or subconsciously. We're using them all the time, whether we know it or not. Our task is to start using them in a conscious way. Now again, whoops, no, we're not there yet. Maybe we are. We're going to do this, and then we'll go. Oh, you're going to like the other slide too. I'll get back to that one in a minute. So the 12 powers. We had a class, and Ronnie and Diane were part of that class. I don't know if anybody else was here. Gladys, you might have been. I don't know, Allison. Anyhow, a number of years ago. And the 12 powers, we like to remember them in an easy way. And Ronnie came up with this upswell of whiz. And I told Ronnie today, I said, I think I'm going to have to start paying him royalties, because I have used this slide and this concept that he came up with years ago in many talks and sharing with my Unity colleagues. Upswell of whiz. So U stands for understanding. These are the 12 powers. P for power, S for strength, W for will, E for elimination, what we're talking about today, L for love, L for life, O for order, F for faith, W for wisdom. We also use the word judgment. Again, judgment has a lot of negative connotations, so wisdom is sort of the essence of right judgment. We're coming from that, from the deepest wisdom within. So W for wisdom, I for imagination, and Z for zeal. Yeah, a lot. Yeah, give them a round of applause. And at Christmas time here, for those of you who've been around for a while, at Unity, we have a beautiful candle lighting service, and where we are called to shine more brightly these 12 powers within us. We light candles that resonate with us, powers that we want to work on for the year to draw forth more consciously. And I like this way of remembering these 12 powers because if you're a whiz at something, you're really good at it, right? So if you're a whiz, you are reaching like a pinnacle, like the best. And as we have this upswell of whiz, we are rising in consciousness by using these powers consciously. And as we do this, we are getting really good at expressing our divine self and showing up as that in the world. And just like the swell and the waves of the ocean, we rise up in consciousness. And as the Reverend Rona has said, a high tide lifts all boats. So as we rise, we are ultimately making a rise in consciousness for all of humanity, because we're all one. Now, you may already know that these spiritual abilities that Charles has written about, that he matches a disciple, one of Jesus' disciples, with each of the powers. He's got a physical area of our body where the power is seated, a color that vibrationally matches the idea of this power, and he dedicated one power per month. So 12 powers, 12 months. And guess what? November is the power of release. So that's where this is coming from. The disciple is Thaddeus, and I honestly don't know a lot about Thaddeus. I guess he must have been needing to release stuff, I guess. And the color is associated is a reddish brown called russet. And I tried my best to put somewhere in this jacket. I think I have a russet-ish color. Yeah. And the area of the body is the lower abdomen. So think that part of the body that we use for our human elimination. Now, Toilets, a place for peace. Yeah, no, I got there. So as I was, doing research for the talk, I Googled the word elimination just to see what came up. And there was, stuff about this. Toilets, a place for peace. And at first when I saw this, I thought, oh, okay, this is a joke. Because what I found out is that there was a day of, a day of, all about celebrating toilets in the world. World Toilet Day. And I'm going, really, and I legitimately thought that it was something, spoof kind of thing. And as I dug deeper into it, I found out that no, the United Nations in 2013 actually established on November 19th, so just this past week, World Toilet Day. And yeah, I know. And the reason they did that, though, is because of the situation in our world, something we take for granted. The essential space, necessary part of our lives, something that should be safe, secure, hygienic, private, but people around the world don't necessarily have the opportunity to take care of their needs in dignity and safety. And literally for billions of people, especially women, sanitation is under threat from conflict, climate change, disasters, and just general neglect. So the United Nations legitimately has drawn attention to this physical need of people around the world. And usually in polite company, elimination is not always a pleasant topic to discuss. And I can only imagine what it's going to be like later if somebody says, "How was church today?" And they said, "Well, Alexandra talked about toilets and elimination." Yep. And joking aside, though, if we realize how important physical release is, we had a conversation about that already today in the kitchen. How much more important might it be for us to release things within our consciousness? In the 12 Powers, Charles writes, "Thoughts are things. They occupy space in the mental field. A healthy state of mind is attained and continued when the thinker willingly lets go of the old thoughts and takes on the new." And this is illustrated by him in the inlet and the outlet of a pool of water. And he says, stop the inlet and the pool goes dry. Close the natural outlet and the pool stagnates. So if there isn't a flow, that's where the trouble begins. Now, some things we might be, let's see if I can get to there we go. Whoop. Uh-oh. Yeah, there we are. So some of you might recognize this guy here. And he's a bit of a character, Homer Simpson. And he's maybe not what I would consider a shining example of someone who's consciously expressing his 12 powers. And he, like you, may have some of these things going through his mind. Never enough. It's not me, it's everybody else. I'm so fat. I'm so old. No one loves me. I'll never figure it out. Why can't I ever? And the list is going to go on and on and on. Charles Fillmore invites us to look within at any of these persistent thoughts. Thoughts of lack, limitation, unworthiness. And there may be emotions and feelings that we have harbored like regret, resentment, anger, pain, fear, and there might be shame, blame, guilt, and long-held beliefs that we've held about ourselves, lingering in our subconscious. And again, as I say these things, it's because I do this work. I look within and go, okay, that's what's going on here. And all of these thoughts and beliefs, while valid in our humanity, do not reflect the truth of our divine nature. That's what we're here to remember. There's a story about a college professor, and she showed her class a glass of water. And she says, I have a question for you about this glass of water. And the students thought, okay, it's going to be the half empty, half full question like we usually get with the glass. And then she said, how much do you think this glass of water weighs? And they guessed, 8 ounces or, 250 grams, whatever, various guesses. And she says, the longer I hold this glass, the more it feels like it weighs a lot more. And you can imagine, standing here, if I had to stand here the whole time, having this glass in my hand, I would start to feel it. So it's like that with things that we are holding in our consciousness. The longer we hold on, things can get pretty heavy if we're not letting go. Where's the scale? Our ego mind, though, in its effort to protect and control us, and it's here for a reason. It is doing our best job to keep us operating in the human world. It may give us a hard time, though, if we begin to let go of some of these ideas that we've been, those thoughts. It just loves to let us know that it knows best. Anybody have that experience where you got that little voice going, no, you don't need to worry. It's all going to be okay. It's not coming from that deep inner knowing. It's our ego trying to make sure it's still in control. Even if we feel justified in hanging on to these things inside in our consciousness, they may be blocking our spiritual growth. And if that's what we're here for, it's something to have a look at. When our fists are curled tight like this, we are not open to our good. So again, invitation just to consider releasing and letting go. Okay, here we go again. So you already may know this. I know Reverend Rona's talked about this, the 5 principles of unity. And the shortcut is with the hand. It's like, I am. God is, one power and presence. I am, made in the image and likeness of God. I think, so through my thoughts and my feelings, which again, we now add feelings, we create our experiences. 4th is, I make a conscious connection with God. I pray. And the last one is, I live the truth, I know. And a few weeks ago, I think you watched the feed from the Unity Canada service was held at Unity Vancouver. Yeah. And Reverend Vicki Vanderhorst, who lives on the island, spoke about this, and she used this idea here during that service. And what she said was that we use affirmative prayer. So we're talking about that 4th principle, affirmative prayer in unity. So it's not the begging, the beseeching, the please your God, although sometimes, that comes up. We dig deeper to look at what is really the truth behind this, and let's focus on that. However, there is another part of this whole affirmative prayer process that is often left out because we're unity people and we're positive and we like to, be bright and say, yes, this is all going to work out. So there's something called denials. And again, if you've been studying unity for a number of years, you might have heard of this idea. The thing is, using that word denial, again, language, it's often misunderstood because we know people can be in denial about something. I once worked for a women's organization, and they had monthly meetings, and one of the ladies we would share at the beginning of the meeting, one of the ladies got up and shared about her upcoming knee surgery. She had finally decided to have it. She'd been putting it off convincing herself that it wasn't necessary, and then she finally did get ready to have the procedure. And she told us, as she's explaining this, she goes, I realized that Cleopatra and I are alike. And we all kind of looked at her. And she goes, we're both queen of denial. And yeah, and she said she had to accept that this was a physical reality. So that's not what we're talking about here. Denial in prayer is different. For instance, if someone has a serious health issue, we're not going to deny that it exists. That's not what we do in unity, because it is a fact and it is real for that person. Each of us is fully human. Good news is we're also fully divine. It is through our divine nature that we have the power to choose to turn away from those limiting thoughts and beliefs, releasing them about these circumstances. So worrisome thoughts, doubt, fear, hopelessness, anxiety, any of those things that I've already mentioned, we just let them go. And that is denying them the power over us, so that we can say, yeah, that might be a physical reality, but it is not the truth of my being. Now, I've got to find my slide again. And this is what Charles Fillmore says here. We must learn to let go, to give up, to make room for the things we have prayed for and desired. So if we're focusing on all the worry, the fear, the doubt, all those things, how is the thing that we're praying for, the things that we desire, like was mentioned in our daily word today, how are those things going to come? So in prayer and meditation, this is our work, we turn away from those thoughts of beliefs. We tap into that reservoir of power that is within us, that can transform our consciousness and the outer situation, any outer circumstance. We access the God part of us, the one with divine knowingness. Omniscience is the other word that we hear about that. The source of all wisdom and knowledge that has ever been, always will be, forever. That's the power we have within us to deal with any of these inner thoughts and outer circumstances. And then we can look beyond, centered in this awareness, and affirm the truth and bring that forth, that energy, into whatever is happening in our lives. And in the example of a health challenge, we come to know that in our divine essence, we are perfection and wholeness. And we can claim, I am perfection and wholeness. Our ego mind, however, might say, yeah, right. Like, who are you trying to kid? And then this is where the power that we can draw upon says, I am an expression of the divine, and that is the truth. And that's what we hold on to. Because we release the rest, it opens the way for that new assurance to come forth. So as we focus on the truth and believe this, that's the first step. Unfortunately, we're not done yet. Because sometimes being fully human, human, pulse, as Reverend Rona says, we have to do some stuff. We have to take action in the outer world. So it might be going to the doctor if it's a health situation, taking medication, or like my friend, having an operation. The key here is whatever the outer circumstance, when we do the inner work, our inner guidance directs us to the highest and best action to take. And some of you may already have this as part of your spiritual practice, and if not, I invite you in your own prayer and meditation time to go within and ask, is there anything that I need to release so that I can live a happier, fuller, more peaceful life? And when you discover what needs to be released, deny it any power to limit you in any way. Just say no. I do not accept that anymore. And instead of using that idea of the word denial, we're going to do a release statement. Here's an example. It's going to come up. There we go. So we can create these statements for ourselves that marry the letting go and the affirming. So we clear away, and then we replace it with the new. And I release old habits and ways of thinking and joyously accept my good. That could be one example of a release statement and an affirmation, marrying both of them. And there are many, many resources, our daily word, the upcoming Advent booklet, books in our lending library. There's so many ways online. So if you want some help getting these statements for yourself, there are many resources available. It's really important that you create what's meaningful for you. Charles Fillmore has said, when we commune with Spirit and ask for new ideas, the answer is always forthcoming. So if you're not sure, you've got everything within you that has all the answers. Now, some of you might recognize this little guy. He's from an animated movie called Minions, and his name is Kevin. And so if you're still kind of, not sure where to go with this, here's what he says. Always know when to let go. When a thought is bringing you more misery than peace, let go of the thought. When a person is bringing you more pain than joy in your life, let go. You cannot be your best if you lack joy and peace. And I heard a phrase, simply put, let go of the story, express the glory. And I love that. And as you know, in life, there will be ups and downs, and we will not always be able to move forward. The key is keep on using those divine faculties, use them consciously, bring them forth, and you will experience greater good. Now, I've been walking around last October and the beginning of November shooting pictures of trees that had this russet color as I was preparing for a talk on release. So these are just some images that I put together in a collage. And we know that as autumn has progressed, these leaves have been falling, some just gently falling away so we can release gently. Sometimes it's those wind, like we've been having, the really, really big winds that are whipping the leaves off the trees. Sometimes there's a little more force involved. And it turns out that I saw Lyle outside with the leaf blower today, still trying to get rid of these. And regardless of how they are removed from the tree, eventually what happens is you end up with a bare tree. And you would think that, okay, that's it. The trees are gone, I've released. Gone, no more. Within this bare tree, though, there is the potential waiting to unfold in spring for that new growth, the new life. And that's the way it is with us. As we release, we can choose to let go of that which no longer serves us, but there already exists in potentiality all the good that we desire, just waiting for us to claim it. And as a former teacher, I usually give homework. Does anybody remember a show called Mission Impossible? It started out as a television show, and now there's all these movies. Yeah, Tom Cruise doing crazy stunts that some people might say are impossible, even though, he's supposed to be overcoming the impossible in these movies. And there's always that phrase at the beginning, I think you'll be familiar with. Your mission, should you choose to accept it. So I'm inviting you to make it your mission to find out what is yours to release. And it's, I think, a really important time of year to do this because we're getting ready for the Advent season and Christmas. And what better time to prepare for this joyous season. And as you release and let go and clear the way for your inner light to shine more brightly, here's an affirmation I'm going to leave you with. I am radiant, glorious, and divine as spiritual light breaks through. I am radiant, glorious, and divine as spiritual light breaks through. And so it is. Amen.
I brought this next song from Ricky Byers, which will work perfectly with Alexandra's tone today. So I'm going to sing the verse part, and then we're going to come in together with the chorus. And the chorus together, be brave and let yourself be free. Release that energy. There was a time in my life I thought I had to do it all by myself. I didn't know the grace of God was sufficient. Didn't know the love of God was at hand. But now I can say, if you are discouraged, struggling just to make it through another day, you got to let it go, let it go, let it go. And this is what you have to say: I release and I let go. I let the Spirit run my life, and my heart is open wide. Yes, I'm only for God. No more struggle, no more strife. With my faith I see the light. I am free in the Spirit. Yes, I'm only for God. I release and I let go. I let the Spirit run my life, and my heart is open wide. Yes, I'm only for God. No more struggle, no more strife. With my faith I see the light. I am free in the Spirit. Yes, I'm only for God. I release and I let go. I let the Spirit run my life, and my heart is open wide. Yes, I'm only for God. No more struggle, no more strife. With my faith I see the light. I am free in the Spirit. Yes, I'm only for God. Yes, I'm only for God. Yes, I'm only for God. Yes, I'm
Oh my gosh. A powerful and positive message, both in song and speech. Wonderful. Oh gosh. Do we ever have a lot of announcements? Our usual Monday meditation, 10:30 to 11:15, where we can check in with each other, use a guided meditation, uplift, and acknowledge each person as you read the names of the people on our prayer list. And if you have people that you want on the prayer list, please put it in the put it in the basket, put it over in our little prayer box, or put it online, because we'd like to acknowledge that and pray for them. Today is the last Sunday of the month, so we have our regular monthly potluck, and I saw lots of stuff downstairs. So feel free to stay and eat, whether or not you brought anything, because there's plenty. And just note that we don't have our Creative Cafe either November or December. But next one will be in January. Purdy's, another Purdy's chocolates. I've had lots in my time, and I've sent them to some of my American relatives too, who enjoyed them. So anyway, you have a deadline to December 1st. There are some catalogs downstairs. You can do it either online, or you can bring in your, there's a little list that you can kind of check off and put your check in. The deadline is December 1st, and they will be available December 15th. So Cindy and Valerie are heading the campaign. So if you have any other questions, do you have something to say, Valerie?
No, I've got all the information down here as well. I'll be downstairs.
Okay, so if you want to talk to Valerie, well, absolutely want to talk to Valerie. Okay, and our goal this year is $1,000 as a fundraiser. And there's so many different activities happening. Yeah, look at those. Lessons from the Grinch, sadness service. There's a couple of sadness services, if I remember right here. Let's see, annual sadness service will be on December 12th. Then we have our 12 Powers candle lighting service on December 19th. Brown bag raffle, which is kind of fun. Bring in some things. And it will be on December 15th. And so we're looking for prizes that you'd like to put in some of our little brown bags. And then it's a wonderful surprise what you get. And let's see. We are ready to accept your donations starting now, right up to December 15th. Anything else starting up? Burning Bowl, oh gosh, we have so many things happening. I love the Burning Bowl, talk about release, and yes, in our white stone, putting a kind of affirmation for our whole year. I think that's super. Okay, so right now, just want to say we're grateful for all the gifts that support New Westminster. Many of us contribute in pre-authorized payments or e-transfers. And if you're not placing anything in the contribution basket today, just bless it. And for our online viewers, are there any online viewers today? But anyway, you can find a donation link in the description of this recording. Please give freely from a place of abundance and gratitude. And we got our jazzy duo again, Leora and Jay. Thank you.
I am so blessed, I am so grateful.
I remember it this time. Oh, gosh. I want to thank everyone for being here today. And thank you, Alexandra. We love you. Wonderful. And our wonderful jazzy duo. I just love them. And there's so many people who work behind the scenes, besides Valerie and Glenn. They're not behind, but they're behind, at the end there. But we have so many people come in during the week who go into the kitchen and prepare things and, put things away. I'm just really so happy to thank all these people who are our unsung heroes, I guess. Yeah. So, you're all invited to stay for a lunch. And so right now, we'll move into a circle as we're able and sing, "Let there be peace on earth, and I'm the light of God."